Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle, and today I'm going to be talking about homeschool confessions. I have a few other videos on this, homeschool confessions 1, 2, 3, I believe. I'll link them up above, but I just talk about things that I'm confessing as a homeschooler, so if you're new to my channel, this is our third year homeschooling. I have a 4-year-old in preschool, a 7-year-old doing first, second grade level work, and an 11-year-old in 5th grade. So I keep a list on my phone, and once that list reaches 10, I make another one of these videos. So this will be part 4. So the first one is I prefer teaching older grades. So upper elementary, middle school, high school. I've been doing a lot of planning in these past couple months, looking forward to middle school and getting kind of an outline for high school. I have to say, I'm really excited about those grades. I know a lot of people find them intimidating. But just looking at the areas we're going to be covering and the materials we might use is really exciting to me. And I gotta say, going back to teaching like preschool, kindergarten, first, second, they're not that appealing to me. I much prefer the intellectual stimulation that comes with older grade levels in teaching. I am not a person that enjoys managed to play. I'm not a person that wants to do all the games. I really want to get into the meat and have some really deep level conversations with my kids, and that really doesn't happen consistently until they are, cognitively at that age. So I'm really excited and looking forward to those older years, much more than I looked forward to preschool or kindergarten or first grade. I really do prefer teaching older grades. Number 2, I don't cancel school because the weather's nice. I also don't cancel school if the weather's bad because, we're homeschooling, so we're not really going anywhere. But I've been seeing this a lot since, it's getting into summer, we're getting into warm weather. A lot of people are just stopping or laying down the books just because the weather's nice. And I get it. I live in the Midwest. Winters suck and we don't go out a lot, but I think there's a lot of options you have. You can always, even if it's the dead of winter, you can always go to a coffee shop and do homeschool. You can always go to the library and do homeschool if you want to switch up the location, but I never want to stop homeschooling because it's sunny out. I think if my kids are really that amped on going outside to play, they have plenty of time to do that. My 11-year-old right now is finishing her core work by 9:30. So all of her main subjects, everything besides group work, by 9:30, because we've had consistency, we've had scheduling for years now. She knows if she gets it done, she has the entire day to herself. And that's what she's been doing. So she has all day. Even my 7-year-old, who is a little slow getting things moving, especially in the morning, she's done by 1 o'clock and she has all of the day to play. So they spend plenty of time playing outside. So I don't know what this sudden trend of, oh, it's sunny, we can't do homeschooling. I'm not that person. Number 3, there's days I don't want to homeschool. There's days I really don't, and it's not because I'm sick or because something's going on, it's because I really just don't have it in me to do it or want to do it. But I still do, because it's my job as their educator to show up and do my best, just like it's their job as the student to show up and give me their best. So for example, there's days like I really just don't want to do art. And it's not because it's hard, it's not because I don't have the supplies, it's not because the curriculum, I don't like the curriculum. It's because I'm just not a big art person. And there's nothing against it. It's just one of those mundane things that it just doesn't interest me, but I still do it. I still do it consistently because that's part of my role. Next one. It's easier to teach my child that's similar to me. So my oldest is very similar to me. How she thinks, how she learns, executive functioning skills. Like I said, she's done by 9:30. She's my child. But my 7-year-old is almost the complete opposite, and it's much easier to teach a child that is similar to you. And this isn't like drastic information, but when you have, obviously multiple children in your home and they're all different skill levels, different abilities, it's hard. And sometimes it's easier with the children that are more like you. And I will say that the children that aren't like you definitely encourage you to grow, both as a person, as an educator, but it's easier to teach the child that is more similar to me. Next one is I don't do any type of reward system in my homeschool. So I don't do like a token if you had a good attitude, get a special thing if you finished your work for the day. I don't believe in reward systems, really in general. My kids do allowance for money, but they also have expected work that's individual chores that is expected them on a daily basis. But if they want to earn money, they have additional chores they can do to earn money. So I believe in that kind of reward system. But when it comes to homeschooling, this is their job. This is what they're supposed to be doing. I think it's important that they understand the value of that and the value of their education, that this isn't something that we're negotiating back and forth. This is their expectation. This is what I expect them to be doing, just like they expect me to be the teacher and show up prepared, ready to teach. So I think having that dynamic for such a long time, it's really made it easy for my kids that they don't think they're going to get some special treat because they did well in school today or they listened. That's the expectation, that they listen and try. It's fine if you fail, it's fine if you get it wrong, but you got to at least try. Next one is I dislike administrative tasks in homeschooling. So anything to do with printing or copying, I really just despise it. And it could be because I've used a lot of curriculum where I've printed out, so I'm kind of getting burnt out on that, but it's just those mundane things where it's like trudging through. And that's one of the things I won't buy any type of binding system, because I already hate the printing enough to have to then hole punch it all and put in a binding system. I don't want to spend my time doing that type of stuff. I already spend enough time focused on homeschooling, doing those little mundane tasks. I don't like them. Next one. Homeschooling has helped me grow in a lot of my abilities. So something I've really grown in is math, something I struggled with most of my life. But I definitely see myself differently when it comes to math now, and I feel like I could achieve a lot more than I did previously, and I'm excited to learn about math and teach about math now. That's completely different. And even the literature, a lot of the books we're talking about with my oldest or in our group subjects is things I had never come across because they didn't exist at that time. So really diving into literature and having these discussions has been really wonderful. It's really stretched my growth as a person, but also my personal education and the things I was aware of. Next one. I get really irritated with the flakiness of homeschoolers, and this has to do more with personally in my life. So I help run a co-op, and just consistently people are late. People will tell you they're coming and they don't end up coming, which I understand emergencies come up, but it's on a consistent basis. And I don't charge any type of fee for, our activities or joining our group. I think homeschooling is expensive enough. I just want to have a group of people that can come together and do different activities. So all that I ask is people let me know if they're coming or not. So I have enough supplies, or sometimes we do, like when poetry tea time, we have snacks and stuff that I provide because my youngest has an autoimmune condition, celiac disease, so she can't have anything with gluten. So it's just safer for me to bring things, which is fine, completely willing to do that. But it's just really annoying that people will constantly be 15, 20 minutes late to a scheduled activity. It's not like these activities are changing. It's the same time, same day, every week. And I've just noticed an overall flakiness with the homeschooling community. Even when we did our Lego League, people would show up consistently late. And I don't understand why that is, why people don't seem to value time or other people's time as much. Maybe because you're not always adhering to other people's schedules, it's easier to, just go with the flow. But when I'm on somebody else's time, I'm respectful, I show up, or at least if I say I'm going to be there, I try my best to be there. So that's just something that has irritated me in the past couple of years of homeschooling. The next one is I don't really watch a lot of YouTube videos. And you think I'm a content creator, I would watch a lot, but really there's not much that I'm really getting a lot of benefit from. I've gotten to the point where my suggested feed on my YouTube, when I watch it, is ambiance videos, because I do enjoy ambiance videos. But there's not much. If I'm given the choice between reading a book or watching a YouTube video, I'd much rather read a book. I find that a lot more life-giving to me than watching a lot of YouTube videos. And especially, when we're coming to the end of year homeschooling videos, I usually enjoy that, but there seems to be this trend of nothing worked, or we dropped a bunch of things, or we didn't accomplish half of what we planned to do. And I don't know why that's becoming the normal when consistency and scheduling and sticking to a plan is seen as not normal. And you can obviously see what type of homeschooler I am. I'm the consistent, scheduled homeschooler. Hopefully my end of the year review videos will start coming out next week. But we did everything we said we were going to do. Our schedule was pretty similar through the entire year. It is possible to make a plan, stick to that plan, and it worked really well, and your children benefit from it. But a lot of what I'm seeing is the opposite of that. So it's just not really rewarding to me that that's not being portrayed, that it's if you don't like it, drop it. If it's not working, you don't need to do math for months. That's completely fine. No, it's not. And that's just not my homeschooling. So I'm not really getting a lot of benefit from it. So I'm just not really watching that much YouTube. I'd much rather read. And the last one is, I feel like, it kind of relates to the previous one, homeschoolers need to focus more on reading books about teaching than reading books about homeschooling. I feel like, again, it relates to that so many people are constantly, if something's not working, their knee-jerk reaction is to change curriculum or completely stop doing it. And I think if you look more into teaching and cognitive development, how the brain works, how the brain learns, especially in children, that's going to give you different techniques and tools to use when teaching a child. And I think that's really important because all children are different. So you're not necessarily equipped, unless you've done kind of the reading and the research about it, to present those ideas. I think when you just switch from curriculum to curriculum to curriculum, you're shooting in the dark. You're hoping that one sticks and works. When I think you could save yourself a lot of time and money if you did the research of, cognitively, where's my child is, what is the best way to approach them if they have certain issues going on. Like my youngest daughter has ADHD. So I did a lot of research into ADHD, and I continue to do that for techniques best to suit her needs, not finding that magic curriculum that doesn't exist that will suit her needs, but educating myself on how best to teach that child, I think is far more important than let's talk about the fluffy, fun unicorn rainbows of homeschooling. Learning how to teach is really important, and it's a skill you have to learn, a skill you have to practice. But if you're unwilling to do the work, you're going to keep shooting in the dark and going from thing to thing or dropping thing from thing. So that is just something that I personally have noticed a lot. And so that's just something that I've been thinking a lot lately, that we need to focus more on how to teach and less on making it Instagram worthy. So those are my 10 homeschool confessions. If you'd like to share any of your homeschool confessions, please leave in the comments below. If not, thank you for watching.